What is going on, guys? So today I wanted to talk to you a little bit about buying an E36 M3, more specifically buying an automatic E36 M3. I'm driving in my 1997 M3 sedan, and if you haven't watched any of my videos before, yes, it is automatic. Hold on, let me explain for a second. So there are a couple things about owning an automatic E36 M3 or an automatic E36 in general that some of you guys don't really think about when buying one of these cars. The nature of the E36 is pure driver feel, the analog feel of the car, shifting through the gears, feeling the chassis, feeling the steering, all of that stuff. With the manual E36, you have complete control of the car. You compare the automatic to the manual in the E36 chassis, it's a shit show. 100% the manual dominates the automatic. It's not even funny. Manual is so much more engaged in drive, so much better. The cars are lighter. Manual is the way to go. Undeniably, absolutely hate the automatic. It drives like trash compared to a manual. Now, if you are looking to buy an E36 M3 and you are mechanically inclined, or you would like to be mechanically inclined, learn how to start working on these cars, you might actually want to buy an E36 M3 with an automatic transmission in it. Nobody wants an automatic E36. I totally understand that. I get it. Nobody wants the automatic for good reason. I prefer the manual myself. I have bought 3 E36s so far. All 3 of them have been automatic. First one I bought was my 98 M3 convertible. I bought it with an automatic in it, and it is currently sitting in my garage with a 5-speed in it. The second E36 was a 95 325i. I ended up not finishing the project. We're actually rebuilding the motor right now for an E30, a whole different thing. Bought it as an automatic, and I started to part it out. It had a manual transmission sitting in it. And the same goes for this M3 right here. This also has one of those slush box automatic transmissions in it. Now, obviously, nobody wants the automatic E36. Everyone who has one gets blasted for owning one, and they sit on the market forever. And so that's it. That's the whole thing. Nobody wants an automatic transmission E36 M3 because it's not a real M3, right? What you get is Craigslist and Facebook E36 group just riddled with M3s that nobody wants. When I was looking to buy this car, when I was saving up for it, I actually looked at this ad 4 months before I even bought the car. This car sat on Craigslist for 4 months before I picked it up. And this thing, fucking clean. Fucking clean. I paid $5,000 for this car. Interior is near perfect, body's straight, the paint, no fades, all the windows work, the sunroof works, all the lights work, nothing is wrong with this car. It just has an automatic. I'm the second owner of this car. It has 180,000 miles on it, which is fairly high. For a well-maintained BMW like this, that's not that high mileage. This thing still freaking pulls for how old it is and how many miles are on the car. So what happens is nobody wants the automatics, so no enthusiasts buy them. So like 90% of the automatic M3s that you find are all unmodified, unmolested, untouched by man, just bought and driven. I picked this one up off of a 60-year-old guy who had just bought a Lexus hybrid and had no need for a sports car anymore. So he sold it, but he bought the automatic, so it took him 4 months to sell it. If this was a manual, he could have posted it for probably double that, $10,000, and it probably would have sold within a week and a half, 2 weeks, because these are freaking pretty hot cars. What I'm saying is, if you buy the automatic, you can get a really clean one for really cheap. And you gotta think long-term too. Long-term as in manual swapping it. That again is if you're mechanically inclined. If you're terrible with cars, don't buy the automatic. If you want a manual E36, just buy a manual E36. But if you decide to swap it and go that route, you can get a very clean one for a lot cheaper. So I was on Craigslist about 3 hours ago trying to validate my point, and I saw 2 E36 coupes, identical condition to this car, very clean, relatively low miles. One of them I think had 145,000 miles on it, and the other had like 196,000 miles on it. Just all out, through and through, clean cars, manual transmission, $12,000. They were both posted for $12,000. I saw an Astoro Blue sedan going for $10,000 with more mileage than this in equal condition. And then I tried to find some automatics, and I found a Hellrot Red sedan, M3 automatic super clean, going for $7,000. That's almost half the price. Like, that's ridiculous. I saw two M3 coupes, fairly clean, not as clean as this. They were both going for $4,000. And I saw an Alpine White convertible that was automatic going for $3,500, smog already done. So not only can you find clean, unmolested E36 M3s, which is pretty rare these days, you can also get them for clean non-M money. You can get them for like $4,000, $5,000, which is like half the price of one that was manual, right? Its manual counterpart will be in the $8,000, $9,000, $10,000 range. You're basically getting it for half price. You only just have to deal with the automatic transmission for now. And yes, driving around an automatic sucks, but honestly, the manual swap is not that hard. I manual swapped my 98 M3 convertible. That was the first manual swap I ever did. And in fact, that was like the first major car job I ever did. Besides that, I've done like oil changes and tire rotations and all the entry-level stuff. I had never actually cracked in and ripped apart a car like that. And so I just figured out all the parts I need, and I think all the parts in total came out to be about $1,500. And honestly, I could have done the swap for a lot cheaper. I did not cheap out on the parts I used. I bought a very good condition transmission, I bought a brand new drive shaft, I bought a brand new clutch, I bought an ECS tuning lightweight flywheel, a UUC DSSR rod, a B&M short shift kit, full stainless lines, brand new master, brand new slave, and the whole thing only cost me like $1,500. And yeah, that's a good amount of money, $1,500, but when you're talking about $1,500 into a $4,000 car, gives you a $5,500 E36 M3 that you could then flip for like $8,000 or $9,000, because that's how much clean M3 manuals are going for. You save like $5,000 or $4,000 by buying an automatic, only to put a mere $1,500 back into it to get the car you actually want. So like this M3 sedan I'm driving right here, I paid $5,000 for it, like I said, but if it was manual, I've seen ones of this condition going for about $10,000. And so what I'm going to end up with is a $6,500, $10,000 E36 M3 because of how clean it is. So by buying the automatic and manual swapping it, not only are you taking one less automatic and putting a manual E36 on the road, you're also getting a freaking bomb-ass deal. If you can't afford a $10,000 E36 M3 that you want, buy the same one automatic, swap it, there you go. You just saved like $3,500, $4,000 and got the actual car you wanted. And there are lots of build threads online about manual swapping, but I bought this car in an automatic for a reason, and that reason is so you guys will get a full manual swap DIY series. So if you're new to the channel, I do a lot of DIYs aside from vlogging and build threads and stuff like that. I'm currently working on rebuilding a motor for my 98 M3 convertible. Once that is done, the head gasket DIY series will be finished, and then the manual DIY series will begin, which is going to happen on this car right here. We're going to go through everything, the parts you need for the swap, the tools you need, how long it's going to take, what you need to do for wiring, what you need to do to the ECU, all that good stuff is going to be covered in the DIY series. It's going to be bitchin'. But that is definitely on tap. I'm starting to save up for the parts for it, but I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to execute the swap until my other car is running, so I'll actually have a car to drive while I'm swapping this one. So if you guys are looking to get an E36 M3 and you're decently mechanically inclined, you might want to consider picking up one of these automatics. It could be me just justifying why I bought an automatic and why I'm going to do the manual swap series, but it's just a thought. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. Thank you guys so much for watching. Keep it fresh, and I will see you guys later.